Hello, Clark County Preschool parents and students. I'm Dr. Kara Davies, principal at Clark County Preschool. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about a new activity that we are doing. On Monday and Wednesday, we will have a drive-through for some more learning materials. This time, you will be getting an entire box of learning materials that says Clark County Preschool Little Cards Learning Box. So videos in the future, we may reference you accessing your Little Cards Learning Box. When you get your box, take a moment to look at the materials. The first thing that I would like you to look at is a little bit of an explanation about how to use your learning materials and what's in the box. We wanted to include a tote this time because we've been giving out learning materials all throughout the year. So this will be a great place, and there's plenty of space in here for you to add in the materials that you already have. So some of the great things that we have in here are to support both literacy and numeracy and fine motor skill development, which is really important for your child's educational development. So some of the things that you'll get are some consumables like construction paper, glue sticks, a dry erase marker, golf pencils, and really interesting thing about golf pencils, they're really good for small hands. So when your children are writing, a big long pencil can be a lot for them to handle, but a small golf size pencil is the perfect size for their little fingers. And some Play-Doh, which they can use in lots of different ways. One, just to play with and make different shapes, but also to make letter shapes and to build those fine motor skills that it takes to work Play-Doh. They'll get some crayons and another book to read with your child. In addition, you will get a cool little letter flip card that has all of the alphabet here, letter flip cards. If you notice, it's really important when your child is writing to always start at the top. I know it's such a habit for some children to start from the left and work to the right, or to start from the bottom and work up, but it's really important to start at the top and always work from the right to the left, right? So follow the arrows and help your child learn how to maybe start by tracing their finger over these letters. Then they can move up to writing the letters on the dry erase board that we're going to give you that kind of mirrors what lined paper looks like. And your dry erase marker works really well with that. Oops. So they can write their letters, or they can write their name, or write you secret notes. In addition, we've given you this cool little travel letter writing board. It has the pencil included, and they can write their letters in the car. You can practice spotting letters out in the world and writing them on the board. There are so many different activities you can do with this. It doesn't have to just be about writing. It can also be about letter sounds. You can, as your child is working their way through the alphabet, learning the sounds that letters make with our phonics dance videos that we're uploading each week, you can quiz them. Maybe just flip to a random page and say, what does this letter sound like? Ooh, ooh. The letter L sounds like ooh. And see if you can work on that with your child. I'm sure that you can come up with even more games than we can, so feel free to let us know some fun games that you guys have learned how to play with your new letter writing materials. In addition, everybody's getting a number puzzle. These puzzles are fantastic because, one, it's sort of spatial awareness in puzzle building. Two, it's helping them to learn to recognize their numbers 1 through 20. In kindergarten, by the time a child enters kindergarten, they should be able to count to 30. By the time a child leaves kindergarten, they should be able to count to 100. But we really want children to understand more than just rote counting. So sequencing is important, right? What order the numbers come in. Quantity is important, so you can count the number of puzzle pieces. There are lots of fun ways that once you build this puzzle, you can talk about numbers and help your child understand what numbers mean and what numbers represent. So work this puzzle over and over with your child. The more they do it, the more they're going to see the numbers and learn what the numbers represent. You know, if you only have half of the puzzle, 1 through 10, it only represents 10 pieces. If we add 10 more pieces to it, then we have 20 pieces. Another super fun number activity that's in the box is our Nuts About Counting activity. So this is great for both math skills, building math skills, and fine motor skills. So you'll see you have a bolt with the number 3 here. This includes numbers up to 10, I believe, in this packet. And students can begin to understand what 3 looks like. 1, 2, and 3. So they begin to understand that 3 represents a quantity, right? In addition, once your child, this will be hard for a 3-year-old, but as you're working up, getting closer to kindergarten, you may say, I have 1 bolt on here, but I want how many? I want 3. How many more would I need in order to get 3? And your child can help you figure that out, right? And so they can begin to understand addition and subtraction, right? Super fun game. Other things that you may find in your activity box is we have already given you one of these, but you will find, let's see, learning sheets that you can then put into this, which allows you to then use these over and over and over again. So if we insert our learning sheet into the pocket protector is what I'm going to call it. Use your dry erase marker. This erases off of here, no problem, right? A little bit of Windex and paper towel and it's clean, good as new. In your learning box, you will find some dice. Everybody's getting 2 die. So a super fun game to play with your children because everybody loves to throw dice. Just throw the dice. Find the numbers. What number is this? Have your child count the dots. Now, depending on how old your child is, they're going to need a different level of support. You may be doing the writing for your child at this point, or if they're a little bit older, they may be doing the writing. So you may ask them to count the dots, and they would tell you 5 dots. So I can't write upside down, so 5 dots plus, how many dots is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dots, and then they're going to need to count all of those dots to tell you that 5 plus 4 equals 9. So at this point, your child will probably need, they're not going to be able to just recognize right off. That's what we're working up to. We want them ultimately, eventually, to be able to see this and just recognize it at 5. But at first, it's going to take a lot of repetition of them counting the dots. Counting the dots. What it's called when your child is able to just look at this and recognize that this is the number 5 is subitizing. And that's a really important skill for our brain and for being able to recognize patterns, shapes, and numbers. So, super fun activity to play with your child with the dice. I believe there are other games you can play with the dice in here. I'm not going to go over all of those because they're in the worksheet, but lots of different ways to support your child's mathematical ability by playing with dice. Some more things that are in here, which is super important for your child's development, is the fine motor skill development. So when children are young, they actually don't even develop all of the muscles in their hand until they're in the 3rd grade. That's why you'll see it's very fatiguing for children to write a lot, but they're building up those muscles and working on it. And it's really good to engage your child in motor development, building up those muscles in fun ways, right? So we have a scooping tool here. We have sort of a tweezer pinching tool here. This is a fun scooping tool, and this is like a dropper. This would be great for playing in the bath, or there's a great activity in here where you write letters with markers on paper towel and then drop water on it and the letters disappear. Super fun for children. It's kind of like a mystery. You could play a spy game at your home and use this as a tool. This is a fun tool for scooping out cereal or sorting materials. The same thing for this. So you can see this kind of mirrors how they would hold this, how you would hold a pencil. And every time they squeeze this, they're building up all those tiny little muscles in their hand that it takes to be able to hold a pencil and write a long paper when they're in high school. So everything you do today is supporting your child's development for kindergarten, 1st grade, 5th grade, all the way through for the rest of their lives. So lots of fun games to play with that. In addition, you'll find some more magnetic letters. These are uppercase letters that you will have. You can play lots of games with those. You can use those with this. Maybe show your child and ask them to write that letter. You can ask them to make words, simple words, maybe just CVC words, like 3-letter words, like cat. And then you can make a word with those and then have them copy them and write the word on their sheet. Loads of fun games. We will be continuing to upload videos about how to interact with these materials, but this is a great organized learning box for you to keep all of your preschool materials in, tidy in your home so that you don't lose them and so that your child will have a way to know, like, it's time for school. Let's get our box out. Thanks, and I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe.